Welcome to Light the Path, the podcast that brings you inspiring stories of courage, strength, and faith. Listen in as we explore how God's love and grace can inspire and motivate us to overcome life's challenges and light the path forward.
All right, welcome back to Light the Path podcast. Pathfinders, you are such in for a treat this month. As promised, I have the contributing authors from Abba's Daughters here, and International Women's Day will be launched. Book is out there, ready to go. So we have one of the contributing authors here, Renesha. Welcome her back.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yes, you're so welcome. I mean, last time we did this, we wasn't on Light the Path. It was for the I Am Academy. It was almost this time last year.
Yes.
And I had you on for Women's History Month, and it was such an honor and a pleasure. I met you through the book study we did for one of LaToya's books. And so you were able to come on for Women's History Month last time. And let me look at this title, because your title was so fire. Let me see. I'm getting through while going through. And that was so beautiful. It blessed so many. You got I think over 100 plays on the I Am Academy YouTube page. So I am so honored and thankful to have you here as one of the contributing authors for Abba's Daughters.
Yes, God did it.
Yes. So let's catch up. What has been going on? I mean, what a difference a year makes. Tell me what has been going on.
So shortly after my first interview with you, I had one more cycle of chemo, and I completed that. And so I have been almost a year now, getting close to a year of actually next month will be a year of being finished with my after chemo life. So I'm excited. I'm happy, I'm healthy. And so God, he did that, and I'm very, very grateful for that. So I'm just, I'm going with the flow now. So I'm excited about it.
And that's a beautiful thing that you say that, because it's a difference between, a guy saying, okay, we're going to go with the flow. I'm like, ooh, hold up. Hold up. No, not me. I need to know where I'm going. I need to know which way we're going, right? But then with our Father, Abba Father, our Father, right, says, let's go with the flow. Follow me. It's a whole
learning to give up control and understand that when he said that he knew the plans for us, he knew the plans. He knew the plans. So I'm allowing him. I'm trying. I'm getting better with it. I'm not perfect at it, but definitely better than the pre-cancer Renesha.
Okay. And that's beautiful. And it's all about trust too, right? So we trust him so much that he's so loving, so kind, that he gonna take us, he gonna make sure all our needs are supplied. So that is beautiful. Let me ask you this. What made you want to be a contributing author for Abba's Daughter? What made you want to do it?
So after we finished the book club, I saw where you posted it the first time, and me being, okay, I see it. Mm-hmm. I didn't, it did it. Oh, that would be neat. I can see, but I'm not going to do too much. I'm going to, be, stagnant. And so then I think it was close to your deadline. It might even been your deadline, and you inboxed again about it. And I was like, no, you inboxed me, because the first time I just saw it in the I think it was the I Am Academy group. I saw it somewhere, but this time you inboxed me, and I was like, okay, God, this is personal now. Like you, like whoo, it's one thing to see it out there, for everybody, and it's something different when it's like. And I was like, okay, I got to do this, because I knew he wanted me to share my story. I was not sure how many different ways or how. So this kind of allowed me to do that. So with no plan, I'll be honest with you, the only plan was to tell my story. I wasn't sure how, what part, how much. I just knew I was going to tell my story. I signed up. I was on board. So.
Yeah, so I guess I need to give some context too. So Rashonda asked me to be co-visionary along with her because we always say that God is the visionary and that we're the co-visionaries, right? And so after she asked me that, of course I prayed about it, and then the Lord released me one to do that, and then do another project, and then relaunch this, like the path. And so as I'm going through that process of listening to him and just being at his feet, he started giving me names. So I don't even know. Well, I would lift my phone up, but you were a part of my original list. Like, these are gonna be the daughters. Ask them. And so when some people said no, I'm like, well, Father, you said, right? I'm like, you said this daughter, however, all the daughters didn't, but the majority of the daughters that I wrote down joined the anthology, and it just made my heart so.
I just thank you.
Right.
Thank you and Rashonda so much, because sometimes we have a dream in us, or we have something we see ourselves doing. We're not sure how, or something has happened. It's not that you forget that dream, but maybe once it was a big flame and now it's just to get in where you fit in, or if it ever happens. And so I really, with all my heart, I thank y'all for being obedient to God, because it caused me to be obedient to God, because I knew he wanted me to, and I just didn't know how. So I appreciate that.
You're so welcome. I'm so thankful for your yes. It just makes my heart so happy, and I'm so excited for the world to see. I know this is going to continue to spread, and this is just the beginning. I think it's just the spark that everybody needed to say, okay, now what else? What else, especially with this long process. It's been almost over a year for us all working together. So
Yes, I still remember being nervous about what I was going to write, and now, here we are. The book is out, so yeah, definitely.
Yes. So tell everybody what the name of your chapter is, and just give them a little snippet, because we still want y'all to get the book.
Okay.
And Renesha's going to give you her information to get it directly from her, because I want you to get it directly from her. You can get it many ways, but today I want you to get it from Renesha, and tell us about your chapter, the name of your chapter, the woman, and a brief synopsis of it.
Okay. The woman I chose is Martha, and my my chapter is actually The Believing Daughter. And it just talks about how through the whole process of going through chemo, even, because this was my second time going through it, the process of believing, you're seeing one thing or feeling one thing physically, or maybe mentally thinking one thing, and then you have what the Father has said. So my chapter is about believing God. But I have to say this, I have to tell this little part. I always thought my chapter was going to be the woman with the issue of blood, because that had so much to do with my actual issue. And it's funny how even when we think we are allowing God to plan something, we're still stuck in our own plans. And so I remember the day that I was getting ready to, I had to start writing some stuff, and I found out I couldn't get that one because it was already gone. And I said, well, God, I don't see how you want me to do this. Listen, I was like, I don't see, because where else? Who else? And here we had this long list of strong women, all who I probably could have pulled from, and I was stuck. And so it was the studying, because I knew who Martha was. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Martha was my nickname, because I was always, what we knew Martha for, the worrier, the one who was getting stuff together, the one who was always preoccupied with something else. And I was able to study and learn that that wasn't the end of her story. That's not all she represented. And so I identified with her because she believed, even though the circumstances didn't add up with what Jesus had taught her, she still believed. And so that's my testimony. I believed, heartbreak, disappointment, all kind of stuff, but I believed. And that's what my story is about, believing.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I mean, as Rashawn and I were going through the editing process, and we're reading y'all bios, we're reading y'all's chapters, but then we're trying to do ours and we're trying to study. And so just seeing y'all come from, I don't know, to here I am showing up in full strength on solid ground saying, I am, Abba's daughter. And I'm like, ooh, seeing y'all on podcasts and stuff like that. It has just been such a beautiful seed that was planted back, almost a year ago. And then now to see and enjoy the fruit, it's just beautiful.
I couldn't think of it. And so I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. Even sometimes I'm sitting and I'm like, I'm telling my story. And then the best part about it, not to skip ahead, but the best part about it is not just only telling my story, is the thing that the devil tried to hold me bound with, that I wouldn't be able to tell my story, or that I didn't matter, or that I didn't make a difference. To realize, oh yes, I made it. Somebody else is encourage someone else to know, believe, and that was something that God wanted me to do. And I just think I'm grateful that I didn't miss the opportunity, that in this season of obedience, that I was on time, and I'm grateful for it.
Yes, you're always on time, and it's beautiful. So talking about that, so how was the writing process then as you were getting your thoughts together? Because you started off thinking you're gonna be with one woman, and then boom, now you're here. So how was the writing process for you?
I didn't so much as rewrite the whole story, but I probably put in and took out some different parts. I wrote it, I edited it, like, I don't know, probably like a million times. And then there were like some parts where I was like, God, do I need to tell them this? Like, this is, that make me look too, strong. And he's like, I want you to tell them this. Or I'm like, God, is this too much? And he's like, I need them to know that. And so he worked on me while I was working on this piece to share with other people. And so the whole process was awesome, because only God can, tell you you're going to tell your story, but use your story to continue to help heal you while you're telling your story. And so the process was way better than I thought it was going to be. I was comfortable, and once I got out of myself and I allowed him to, flow through me and, tell me what to say or got me in direction, it was a lot easier than I anticipated.
Okay, well that is good. And I mean, that just blesses our ears to hear that, it went from woo to it felt good. It's easy, so that is a blessing to hear that. And I'm just so grateful and thankful for the entire process, because it was tough. I mean, because there were times where there were distractions, and then there were obstacles, because we were doing this, but then we also have to run life, right? And so it's like, life don't want to take a pause, because we over here trying to do a big God project. It's like, no, life is back here
life
trying
is
to
life
with us. Yes,
right. Life is life.
exactly. So what did you learn about yourself during this time?
I learned that I'm a lot stronger than I thought I was. And I also learned that I went through a process at the end of chemo of depression and anxiety, and it was just a mess. It was a mess. And I didn't know what was next. And so I felt like I should be more, or I should be doing more, and I didn't understand it. And what I learned is that all of that was preparing me for what he wanted me to do next. And so even in that process, I knew enough. I got to pray. If I can't do nothing else, I gotta pray. I gotta, God, this is going on. This is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like this. And I know I should be grateful. And I know I should be helpful, happy, but I'm not liking this, like what's going on. And all of that was a process for him, at the beginning. This second time, I didn't pray just to be healed physically. I asked him to make me whole. So all of that was a part of my process to being whole. So he had to break up some stuff. You know, he had to get me someplace. And I was telling my best friend, I was like, you know, it's funny how all this time I'm thinking I'm waiting on God. And the whole time, God is waiting on me. Whole time. He just needed me to do something. You know, the whole time I'm sitting there like, what? Yeah, woe is me. And he's like, get up and do something. Just trust me enough to get up and do something. And that's it, you know? And that's what I had to do. And participating in this, that was the first little step and the first of many steps. So I'm grateful.
Man, that is so beautiful. That is so beautiful here. I'm so appreciative of you. I cannot wait for others to hear your story, read your story, and tell everybody where they can get their autographed copy from Renesha. Tell them where. Tell them where to find you at.
You can get your autographed copy at payhip.com/Supreme Reads. And that's SUPREME Reads, READS, Supreme Reads. That's payhip.com/Supreme Reads.
And no worries, guys. When I put the description, you're going to be able to find it right down here in the description box. You just point and click and shoot, and you will get your autographed copy. Renesha, thank you again for your time and your talents and your treasures, giving it to the world, sharing your story with the world is beautiful. And I can't wait to see what's next.
Thank you for the opportunity. I can't wait to see what's next.
You're welcome.